one of the first black movie stars, and she was the first black movie star for Norristown. She played in many, many pictures. Mildred Davenport. I want to go on and mention a great athlete, one whom I had the pleasure to participate with, who went to the old Washington School and later Rittenhouse School, junior high school, and Norristown by the name of Joshua Colbreth, who went on to become a member of the 1956 Olympic team. And during the same time, another outstanding young man who went to Gottwald and later to Stewart and finally to Norristown High School, Robert Barksdale, who set a world record in the high jump, the indoor high jump. A man who came through Gottwald School and whose family still lives in the Norristown area, Leonard Simon. Leonard Simon is now the Director of Arts and Culture for the state of California. Monica Magnus, who graduated several years ago, is a leading model. She traveled throughout the world, and she now lives in California. I also would like to bring up the name of an outstanding young attorney, Richard Rogers. Richard Rogers, who has an office on DeKalb Street. Richard Rogers went through the Hancock Elementary School, later to Rittenhouse, then to Norristown, from there to Franklin Marshall College in Lancaster. He's a well-known attorney. Lemuel Rogers, his brother, Dr. Lemuel Rogers, who now has a practice in Rochester, New York. Calvin Griffin, Dr. Calvin Griffin, also a product of Gottwald, who now has a practice in Washington, D.C., and another doctor, Dr. Wilbur Sims. So these are some of the people who have made a name for themselves. Let us go on and talk about track and field. A very outstanding young woman by the name of Nita Young. Nita Young set a state record. Matter of fact, she broke 3 state records in track and field while she was a student at Norristown High School. Tony Darton. Perhaps some of you know Tony Darton. He still competes for various track and field clubs throughout the country. He's a product of Hancock Elementary School and later to Norristown, and soon after he went to Arizona State. And Tony Darton also is a member of several world record-breaking track and field teams. Thomas Griffin is a distinguished music teacher for the state of New York. Many, many years ago, he won the American Legion Award at Stewart Junior High School and went on to make a name for himself throughout the country. Fred Thomas graduated at Norristown High School in 1935 and later distinguished himself as a great singer, concert singer, traveling throughout the world. Jeanette Spearman is another model. She's a model who is now living in Paris, and perhaps you've seen her pictures on some of the latest magazines. Dr. Andrew Livingston, a scientist. We have many black scientists in our history. For instance, one, every time you come to school, you must stop at a traffic light. This traffic light was invented by a man by the name of Garrett Morgan. Garrett Morgan invented the traffic light. So we have Dr. Andrew Livingston from Norristown, a great scientist. Dr. Robert Branson, who grew up on Cherry Street in Norristown, went on to Stewart Junior High School, later from there to Norristown High School into Penn State, where he participated in the track team. He's our leading psychologist living in Rochester, New York. So I can go on and on and on, naming outstanding black Americans and black who later distinguished themselves as great men and women throughout this country. We're talking about black history today, and I can go on and tell you about some of my white friends whom I went to school with who distinguished themselves. But since we are talking about black history, I want to say to you, all of you, that in spite of your color, race, or creed, you should always remember the great song, the stirring song that you just sung, My Country 'Tis the Sea, and America the Beautiful, and God Bless America. These songs are very, very important. Thank you very much.
Our first selection was Joshua Fought the Battle of Jericho. And now our second spiritual will be Rock of My Soul. And our final selection will be When the Saints Go Marching In.
When the saints go marching Another special person with us by the name of Mrs. Marion Peck. Mrs. Peck is at the Morristown Public Library, and I'm sure most of you have seen her during the school years. She is the children's librarian there, and she has many interesting stories to tell you. She introduces you to many interesting medias of the library. And she is here this morning to share with you some of her material in memory of our great heritage of Black America. Mrs. Peck.
Thank you, Mrs. Garrett. Good morning, boys and girls. I'm so pleased to be here this morning to be a part of this very important program. I feel that I can help foster our feelings of brotherhood using a few books that I've brought from the library. The first book is You're One of a Kind by Joy Wilk. It's a children's book about human uniqueness. And the message that I want to give you from this book is this. There are 4 facts that you need to remember. The first is, every person has a one-of-a-kind body. Every person has a one-of-a-kind personality. Every person has a one-of-a-kind situation. You are all one of a kind. You are unique. You are valuable because you are like no one else and you can never be replaced. How many of you have seen E.T.? We have the book in the library that's made from that movie. Beautiful book. And any of you who would like to get it out from the library can come down. Perhaps you can check in your school library. Beautiful large pictures. E.T. is just the most recent example of the message of being unique and valuable for yourself. The idea of a creature from outer space coming among us is not new. One book in our library, which was published in 1958, was written by Ursula Moray Williams. It's called The Moonball. This strange creature came from the sky during a great storm, soft and warm, gentle and furry, but without eyes or mouth or nose or legs. The children who find it seek to protect it from the professor and scientists who want to dissect it and probe its body. They accept the moonball with all its uniqueness, knowing somehow that the qualities of humanness it shows are universal and that they have nothing to fear. I believe that this book sums up very well our feelings about brotherhood. Called Prejudice, a look at prejudice and understanding. It's by Rebecca Anders, the photographs are by Marie Foray, and there's a foreword by Bill Cosby. I think you've heard that man's name before. In the foreword, he has a message for boys and girls, and it's this. If you like yourself, you will work hard to judge each individual fairly. Some of the things I learned, and you can too from reading this book, are to be prejudiced means to prejudge or decide how you feel about a person before you have all the facts. I could say, I don't like boys, they wear sneakers. Or I don't like girls, they talk too much. Or I don't like people who live in funny houses, or talk a different way, or look different. We hurt other people when we prejudge them, but we hurt ourselves more by not giving ourselves a chance to make wonderful friends and learn exciting new things about our world. We need to build fitness, and we need to build fences, and then leave those gates open. Through understanding, we will discover each person has something special to give. Prejudice keeps people fenced in. Understanding allows people to branch out and grow. So I would like to leave you with a message this morning that I'd like you all to decide today. Deep gate builders. Thank you very much.
Now, our next selection involves you and your voices. Let's sing America the Beautiful. Sit up on the edges of your seats, please.
Boys and girls, the next part of our assembly will introduce to you outfits from Africa, from various parts of Africa. I'd like you to look very closely. I think they'll be colorful and interesting to you. The boys and girls are from your own school, 5th grade, and you may see them as they come across, and I'll tell you that these outfits are from Western Africa as well as South Africa. Here we have a Western African outfit. It is of tie-dye. It was done by one of the natives, used the berries and made it himself by hand, or pre-stitched by hand. This is another outfit, and these are worn by the people, the ladies in Africa, upon a very important occasion. Another of the same. Notice the beautiful work that is done. This is done by machine. This is another tie-dye outfit worn by the African ladies. Here we have a brass skirt and anklet that is used in dance in Africa. You want to give a little tip around? All right. This is a chieftain's outfit. This is all done by hand. Here we have a warrior, and this is from South Africa, Swaziland. He has a spear, and that spear was handmade, and it will go through any animal. Thank you, boys and girls.
today's program with America, My Country 'Tis of Thee. Boys and girls, the program was short, but I know most effective. I'm sure that the message came across in understanding others beautifully. Boys and girls, Mrs. Peck and I at one time taught together. So just in case you want to know how terrible a teacher I was, all you need to do is ask Mrs. Peck. Let's give her a nice hand. Even though Mr. Bloxon had to leave because he had another engagement, let's also give him a nice hand. Mr. Bednar and our concert choir. Our beautiful and wonderful model. Are there boys present in the model? Modeling? Okay.